Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be reviewing Weezer, the White Album from Weezer. This was Weezer's 10th overall album and their 4th self-titled album, released in April 2016. I consider myself a pretty big Weezer fan. Like most Weezer fans, I really like their first two albums, the Blue Album and Pinkerton, and even though I think they're pretty inconsistent with the quality of their music, when they get things right, they really get things right. And I think this album was a pretty strong return to form for them. It's kind of impressive that they managed to put out an album of this quality after releasing 15 years of mediocre records. So today I'm going to talk about why I like this album so much. So this whole album just has a very summery, happy vibe that just puts me in a good mood. It's sort of a throwback to the Blue Album sound. It's incredibly consistent and tight. There's not a single dud on the album, and some of Weezer's best songs are on here. The songwriting here is so drastically better than any of their records after Pinkerton. Rivers Cuomo, the vocalist, comes up with some extremely catchy choruses in songs like California Kids, LA Girls, Do You Wanna Get High, and King of the World. The guitar riffs actually sound like they have a lot of emotion and soul behind them. I can actually feel the music, you know? The moment the album starts with the track California Kids, and you hear the sound of the seagulls and the crashing waves, and that opening guitar riff, I immediately get hit with this nostalgic, wistful feeling. None of Weezer's albums have made me feel this way since Pinkerton. And the lyrics are so uplifting too. The chorus of California Kids goes, "It's gonna be alright if you're on a sinking ship. The California Kids will throw you a lifeline." I mean, hearing these words just puts a smile on my face. None of the cheesy lyrics from earlier albums like Ratitude or Make Believe are on here. So let me keep talking about the songs on this album. California Kids flows straight into Wind in Our Sail, which has actually a piano at the beginning, and this is a really nice addition to Weezer's sound that you don't hear very often. It also continues a lot of the nostalgic feelings and the sort of summery vibe that California Kids has. Now track 3, Thank God for Girls, is my least favorite track on the album. I still like it, but it just feels a bit out of place on the album. The way Rivers is singing feels a bit off. It doesn't feel very Weezer-like, and the song breaks the beachy, summery vibe that the first two tracks had. The next track I want to talk about is Do You Want to Get High? This is a highlight of the album. This honestly sounds like a Pinkerton B-side to me. Everything from the guitar feedback in the beginning, to the synths in the chorus, to the guitar riffs and the solo, to the vocal melodies all scream Pinkerton. And I love the song because of this. It really nails that melancholic, desperate vibe that all of Pinkerton has. The wistful feeling I mentioned feeling in California Kids comes back in King of the World. This has a really nice bittersweet sound that all of Weezer's best songs do. It's actually probably the most emotionally resonant song for me on the album. The way Rivers is singing and all of the guitar melodies just sound so passionate and have so much emotion behind them. The track LA Girls has a pretty explosive hook that really draws me in. Once again, there's some more uplifting lyrics from Rivers. Does anybody love anybody as much as I love you, baby? I mean, once again, lyrics like these just put a smile on my face. Jacked Up, the second to last track on the album, once again features piano. Again, this adds sort of an extra dimension to Weezer's sound that I think really is pretty cool. And Endless Bummer is a pretty amazing closing track for the album. I love how simply it starts with just the clean guitar and the vocals, and over time, over the course of the song, the bass and the drums come in, and finally it ends with this pretty energetic instrumental passage. I also love how the song ends with sounds of seagulls and crashing waves. The album also started with these sounds in California Kids. Having this parallel between the start and the end of the album reinforces the beachy vibe that this album has. The production on this album is also excellent. The distorted guitars have a nice crunch to them, the clean guitars sound lush, and the drums sound punchy. And everything is mixed perfectly. I think this album's production is pretty unique in Weezer's discography because it has this raw, rock sound that most of Weezer's albums outside of the first two don't have. Most of their other albums have this polished, glossy rock production, whereas this sounds a lot more natural, and I like that a lot because it makes the album sound more genuine. Overall, this is a surprisingly great album from Weezer. It connects with me emotionally unlike any of their other albums outside of the first two. It pretty much nails the bittersweet rock sound that Weezer does so well. It's unfortunate that after this album, in my opinion, they went back to making subpar music, but I'm extremely glad that they were able to make an album of this quality so far into their career. So overall, I would give this album an 8.4 out of 10. If you're a Weezer fan, you've probably already heard this, but if you haven't heard this and you like catchy alternative rock, definitely give this one a listen. You won't regret it. Well guys, thank you very much for watching, and if you heard the White Album, let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you want to see more reviews like this, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be doing one every Friday. And I'll catch you all later.